myself I might be able to gather up in here. Let's see what's going on, man. Which ways people are divided so many which ways right now. It's something different to see for sure. A lot of disinformation going on. A lot like all these places with now hiring signs, and yet there's still very many people who are looking for work who are not being accepted because the system is starting to figure out who we are that understand the bigger picture going on. We understand that there's more to this life than what they are making it seem. There's much more to this life. And I want to shed some light on that because right now we're in a time where we need to be careful how we're spending our time, because how we spend our time can greatly impact our own mental health. And so I want to put awareness on that because I myself have even been struggling with this during these times where everyone just wants to point fingers at you and make you feel like you're the problem. And, as somebody that has a lot of different experience in working since I was 13, I'm now 32. Like, I've got a lot of different experience, but I do have some gaps in my employment where I was kind of working for myself, doing my own thing, flipping cars, just buying cars, fixing them up, selling them, or trading them. And I did that for quite some time. And so it's hard for me to make a resume that's going to get me anywhere because I've done a lot of stuff on my own. I haven't just been fully devoted to the system since I was 13. Hey, what's good, y'all? Fluffy Puppet. That's a funny name, yo. Well, what are you doing today, yo? I just want to kind of gather as many people as I can here, man. We need to create our own community and, keep it respectful and everything. Please, because, this is more about unity and getting us together rather than divided, because they keep trying to divide us through everything. Everything is designed to divide us. And school. Oh, nice. That's what's up. Yeah. So anyways, I just want to be a clear voice of, we don't need this puppet system. This puppet system is whack. It's just not what we actually need. We don't want to stay slaves. The system has been designed to keep the poor poor, the rich get richer, and they've got rid of the middle class. So I just want us to maybe collectively come to a awareness that, the system is a joke. It wants to keep us from our true purpose. And that's a fact. That is an absolute fact that you can deny all you want, but it's not going to change because it's a fact. They want us to this video to try to bring even a few of us together. That would mean a lot during this crisis we're going through here in America. And really, it's everywhere. I know of a person in a whole other country who is denied employment. So no one is a slave no more. But we still are. All the people who work for like minimum wage or they're around minimum wage, I mean, that's still slavery. If you barely have enough money or you don't have enough money to make it from paycheck to paycheck, that's basically a slave. I mean, we're just giving our everything to a system, which then we have nothing left for ourselves at the end of the day. At the end of the day, we're wore out, and that's how we're not aligning with our true purpose, because we're busy feeding a system that doesn't care about us. And we've got to stop feeding a system that does not care about us. Go. Yeah, I do have 2.39 acres that I am currently over halfway done paying off. And it is some land that is very out there. It's an hour from town. And so I do have that going on. But right now I'm not out there because times are very tough. And it's a very poor county. And so anyways, there's hardly any work down there. Sorry, I was reading a comment. I mean, I looked for work down in Klamath Falls for too long, way too long, way too long. Nobody would even give me a chance over there because I'm not from out there. I don't have community ties out there, all that type of stuff. So right now that project of mine is on hold, but it is what it is. I just need to finish paying it off. And then once I finish paying it off, I just have to pay property taxes, which there's no house on there. So it's not going to be a whole lot of money to keep my property per year. So that's what I'm trying to do, because as soon as I can get enough money, I want to build a shop out there where I can pull vehicles in, work on them. I want to get into painting, full restoration, all that type of stuff. And where the fuck are you, bro? I am in Eugene, Oregon, actually, right now. I just got back from the ocean. I spent the whole summer at the ocean trying to reconnect with my higher purpose here, because this rat race that we call life is far from the norm of where we should be at. We've got totally off track of what it means to be human. We think money and material things and job status means something, but that's part of a delusion. It's an illusion, actually. It's not what we're meant to be here for. We need to connect with our soul. Our heart needs to carry us through these crazy times, and we've got to get back to what it means to be a human. That's what I'm trying to get at, is we're just so far off. I see so many different comments all the time of people just want to react, and that's what's gotten really sad. People react before even seeing where something is truly going, and that's part of our problem. We can't just react all the time. Sometimes, we need to sit back and see what's developing, not just instantly think it's something. So anyways, I just want to try to create a community where, we can start to gain some understanding, because without unity, we're just going to keep falling. And the more we fall, we're just playing into their game. Don't we want to be over this game? Don't we want to end this game? The game keeps going on because we keep playing it. As soon as we stop playing and we stand together, that's all it's going to take. And then we can start to diminish this game that's been going on. And yeah, it's really hard times right now. So many people, I'm out here. This is part of my mission, I guess. This is part of my job, is being out here. I stopped renting when I was 25. I just decided that that wasn't for me. I didn't want to be stuck in a little apartment and day in, day out work just to keep this little box. Like, I'm good. Like, this doesn't cost me but gas and, maintenance and stuff like that. So, I mean, I have a little bit more freedom, and that's what I'm aiming for, and that's why I'm making payments on property. It's only like 2.5 acres, but it's something. It'll be something. If I can develop anything out there, it'll be uh, a great asset to have during these times. Yes, I do all of this alone. I've been single now for probably like, geez, it's hard to keep track. Time is like not real anymore. It just flies by, and it's been like 4 years I've been single now. And I really fell off from this whole puppet show back when COVID hit, and I realized how even the part that I was playing was contributing to their system, and I realized it was time to make a stand. It was time to make a change, and that's when I created this YouTube channel. And because I had been watching a lot of David Wilcock and Dr. Stephen Greer, who is one of the people who briefs the White House, very high up information. And then also Corey Good was another source of information that I looked at as well. Well, a lot of his videos, most of them, pretty much all of David Wilcock's content really started to help. He threw some motivation in me to create this channel when on one of his videos he was talking about we need to stop just sitting around and waiting for somebody else to do, yeah, UFO type stuff, if that's what you want to refer to it as. Yeah. Advanced civilizations is really more like what it is. Higher density beings, there's more to life than what's just going on right here. There's multiple dimensions and densities, and right now this planet is on third density, and a solar event is coming up, and with the solar event will spark fourth density, and so that is what we are looking at. It only happens every like almost 26,000 years. So this has happened before. Humanity has just refused to wake up, and it keeps us stuck here in third density. And I really would like for us to go in a positive direction with this upcoming solar cycle. So that also motivates me to speak out. And, I grew up crazy. I grew up without a dad, in poverty. Mom that was kind of there, but whatever. I started having to work at like 13 years old to start providing for myself. And so that's what I did. And I bought my first car when I was 14. I paid cash for my first car at 14. I bought my own four-wheeler at 15. Like, I started hustling, and I was a hustling young little dude, man. I started doing all kinds of other stuff on top of working to make even more money. I don't really want to talk about that too much. I have a past life too, so David Wilcock and others have really helped me wake up and stop all the nonsense that I was previously doing. What are you talking? Hi. What? Anyways, yeah. So it really forced me into a situation. I did 5 years of felony probation, which really helped me to I mean, the first like 2 3 years, I was still fucking up. I was still thugging out pretty much, and eventually I'd reached a point where something happened, and I realized, this man, there's more to life than this. And yeah, so anyways, it's been a constant struggle to fight the person that I was and to try to become the person that I am now and am further trying to become. It's a lot of hard work, it's a lot of inner work, it's a lot of forgiveness of yourself and everyone. And that's very important right now. We need to learn to forgive ourselves and everyone. That can actually stop the wheel of karma. That's facts. 100. Thank you. That's facts. We need to work on forgiveness. And so, with all this being said, it really changed my lifestyle. And, it's not what a lot of the young people want to see. They want to see Crash Out. They want to see Thug. They want to see, I'm wearing a Tupac shirt for a reason. You feel me? This is a big voice, just like Bob Marley was. If more people would have listened to Bob Marley, if people would have actually taken the time and listened to Bob Marley, and kind of back to what I was saying earlier, and instead of just jumping into judgment, like, even some of my own family judges Bob Marley, and I guess that's why we're not very close as family, because I mean, not just that, but many other things. It's just too close-minded of thinking is keeping our society in a repeating wheel of karma event. That, I mean, if you want peace, I mean, this is all things to consider. I want a world of peace. Ultimately, we don't need to keep fighting over a bunch of material things. That's really what all the war and everything is always about, is a bunch of material. Thank you. Yeah, man. I love Tupac, man, because I love the authentic Tupac. Now, he kind of had some split character thing going on where, one of his characters was very for the community and trying to better the community, and his other character was a little crash outy, kind of wanting to stir things up and just be a wildin' thug. And that's not the Tupac image I'm trying to represent. I'm trying to represent more of the image that was his authentic image, not the image that they created him to be, because that's really kind of what it was. Is the music industry is very shady. Anybody that was near the top, even close to near the top, or wanting to get major deals and stuff, they had to speak about things that they were basically kind of forced to speak about. Like, they had to spread a certain message a certain way, or they weren't going to get these contracts and these deals. And so it's very shady how our, music has been a big part of my life, a huge part. I grew up listening to like 50 Cent and Eminem, and then, X-Rated and SIBO, and, a little bit of some B.O.B. with Lil Wayne. That one E.T. song was really dope. I listened to that a lot in high school. I listened to a lot of B.O.B. in high school because his thinking was more in line with a higher purpose, rather than just, he was trying to be a voice a little bit too. So yeah, I have respect for that. And, ultimately that's why I created this new playlist on my YouTube channel. You should check it out. It's called The Best Playlist You Will Find, because I have taken time to put more positive music in there, more music with real meaning, that's not just trying to get us to stay trapped in the cycle of aggression And forgiveness lies the stoppage of the wheel of action, or what you call karma. Yes, exactly. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you for that, Ties. Man, hope you having a good day, bro. And yeah, I'm just trying to keep spreading awareness of just everything we're going through right now. It might be a little scattered. I'm really just trying to help as many people as I can. Because I think really when we help each other, it helps ourself grow, and that's really what we want. We want to keep uplifting the next person instead of the narrative that's going on is everyone's just bashing everybody and cutting everybody down, and it's just a big shit show right now. Like bad, we are so divided, and that's how we will fall. 100%. That's facts. The divided will fall. There's no way that we can excel in anything if we don't have any unity. The AI is completely taking over already, and all we can do is argue and bicker and not come together instead to try to figure out solutions. You know what I'm saying? Unity can build solutions. We're not coming up with very good solutions in our current state of being right now. So, I'm just trying to spread positivity and light, man. We need to get back to our Christ consciousness that, I think the truth is we were put here with that. And all the distractions of life have caused most of us to forget it or to be very disconnected from it. And that's also a huge part of what I want to spread awareness about. Because, man, when it's all said and done, you know what I mean? People talk about Judgment Day. And, our times are coming to Judgment Day. I mean, there's no way around it. We're just way too out of control right now as a society. We're not even a society anymore. We're just this world has became like a bunch of lunatics. Just it's crazy. And then there's a few of us, that are trying to voice with reason and pull people together. That's the most important thing I can think of right now is we've got, no matter how small, even if this only starts with 1, 2, 3, 4 people, hopefully it can grow into something bigger. But yeah, I know I've been rambling on a whole bunch, but yeah, this originally was just to kind of bring in anybody who is struggling with employment and feeling like they don't fit in anymore, feeling like everything and everyone is out to get them, maybe because you can't get a job and you've tried and you keep trying and you keep getting nowhere. And that's what really motivated me to make this videos, because yeah, that's me right now. And so instead of focus on that so much, I'm trying to focus on other things, because like I said, I mean, we need to get back to our purpose, our being, and a quick question, does anybody notice that there's really no silence anymore? Like, pretty much no matter where you are, there's like no silence. There's always this constant like frequency that no matter what, you can hear it. Just curious, does anybody else hear that? Constant noise all the time, like kind of no matter where you are. I just watched a video where somebody was out in the desert and they were talking about this and how they can even hear it out there. And so I was just curious, if anybody else, hears that just constant frequency going on. I think sometimes at night, like late at night, it goes away for a short period of time, and that's when I wake up a lot of times. The true sound of silence is something to wake up about. So, anyways, I was just kind of throwing that out there, seeing if anybody else knows what I'm talking about. What would you do if you won $1 million? Man, what I would do if I won $1 million, I would take a small bit of it to build myself a shop on my land and get some cars that need some work. Go and find me some things to fix up, and I would start there and fix them up and sell them and keep buying more cars and try to work my way up into better quality cars, more expensive, high end stuff, because I'm a really, really good mechanic. And I also do stereo. Oh man, I can make some Boston sound systems, like turn that your deck down to -7 on the bass on the subwoofer, because that thing's hitting so damn hard. Like, it's all about using fat wires and all that. But man, so that's one of the things I would do, just so that way, because I don't have a job, and that would create that for me. I don't want a job. I would rather do my own thing like that. But also, I would invest in getting this YouTube channel going a lot better. I would definitely invest in some help, and because ultimately I would like this channel to grow into something much bigger one day. So, I would use a little bit of it for that. But other than that, if I had some leftover money, which I would probably, I'd probably go around and try to help other people like myself that are 100% trying to do something better with their life, and I would help them get there. Because, like, it goes back to, we need to help each other. Service to others is very important right now. I live in Oregon right now. I'm originally from Billings, Montana, the biggest city in Montana. And then when I was 19, I moved to Seattle and worked my way down to Portland. And I've been all over since. I mean, I've traveled a lot. But yeah, I spent quite a few years in Washington. I've traveled pretty much all over Washington, literally all over Washington. There's only a very small little section in the mountains that I haven't seen up in the Cascades. But other than that, yeah, I'm living in Oregon. I have land in Southern Oregon, and it's a shit show down there right now. So I ain't even out there. I haven't even been out there. Me and my dog are paying for that, because man, there's some peace out there, above all the bullshit that's actually going on out there with the community out there. Out in the boonies. You know what I'm saying? I got land out in the boonies, and there's a lot of shit happening out in the boonies right now. So, anyways, I want to go back out there regardless, because that's how I really help connect with nature. I hate being in the city. Right now I'm in the city, and that's why I'm so, like, distracted, and not even just distracted, but it's just it's hard to think clearly when there's so much noise and so much going on, and just so many different frequencies. And yeah, I don't like the city anymore. I'm from the city, and I hate the city, man. I'm gonna keep it real. As we get closer to the solar event, we will begin to experience increasing spiritual warfare 100%, and end times madness, all based on our karma and traumas of this life, leads to an immediate upgrade. Yes, yes. I had touched base on that a little bit about our solar event that is coming up. And yeah, right now we are going through a peak moment of spiritual warfare. It has gotten intense out here. You know what I mean? And so it's gotten majorly intense. If anybody's still with me, I would like to medicate. That'll help me get kind of back on track here. It's just tobacco, folks. Yeah. Just tobacco, folks. All right. Whew. Yes, I'm feeling much better. All right, Ty's, are you still in the live? Just curious if Ty's is still here, because I would like to talk a lot more about our karma and our trauma, and focusing on stopping it uh, by forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? And I realize that even I still struggle with forgiveness. Um, Although I speak about it a lot, and I actually practice it a lot, um, but still, I, I'm gonna keep it real. I feel salty about my upcoming uh, my parent situation. Um, as probably many people can relate to, whether you want to admit it or not. You know, uh, and just keep it real is really the only way to grow. So I'm just keeping it real right now, and yeah, I have a lot. I have family issues that I left when I was pretty young. You know what I'm saying? Because I really felt disrespected as a creation in this universe, and so it caused some problems. I was told to be quiet a lot when I was young. I had all these questions, and I was always very interested in space and life that may be out there, and that consumed a lot of my childhood. Um, was wanting to talk about stuff like that, and family was not with it. You know, so anyways, yeah, I feel quite disconnected. And it's all happening for a reason, but it is what it is. I'm working on trying to forgive my mom and my dad. My dad was a real, oh my god, I didn't even meet him until I was 20 years old, and a part of me wishes I didn't. But yeah, this is all. We got to go through all this. I'm not crying about it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just venting about it. I'm just letting it out, because we can't just keep everything bottled up. That's facts. The more we keep bottled up, just it doesn't allow any inner peace to manifest. And so, yeah, maybe I'm venting. I'm getting off topic right now. I'm totally off topic of what this live was supposed to be about, which was kind of unemployment. But you know, I don't have to keep talking about that, because that's not really the main focus. And that's why I'm unemployed right now. I know this, and I'm not a leftist. And me living in a leftist state has caused it to where they already like no. And I mean, here recently, the last couple interviews that I've had, I pretty much knew from the moment I walked in that I was not going to be accepted. I was not going to be hired. And I knew that just from the vibes alone the moment I walked in. And I have a pretty positive vibe about me, really, for the most part. Yeah, there's darkness there too, but that's that's how it should be. I mean, that's real life. That means I've been through real life, and you know what I mean. We can't have one without the other. We just need to learn how to change for the better, and hope and pray that humanity will also choose to change for the better instead of being stuck, literally stuck where we're at. And we've been stuck where we're at since the days of Christ. Literally, we've been stuck in the same consciousness as when we had witnessed Christ. That's literally what I'm saying. We keep reincarnating and we keep trying to learn, but we haven't learned yet. And that's ultimately what I want this channel to be about, is learning how to get there, learning how to help steer other people in the right direction. And that's coming from somebody who has done my fair share of dirt. God knows that. So I just don't want to be that person anymore. And even though that's going on in Portland right now, heavy, and California and New York, and man, lots of places are experiencing very high theft and criminal activity. And being someone who has been there, I understand it. And that being said, I wish that I could help those people who are still caught up in that beast to, realize that there's other ways around it, man. I believe that, we should be able to still ask and receive, like those closed mouths don't get fed type of shit, man. Like I don't think, and I'm not knocking, let me make that clear actually, because I'm not knocking what they're doing as far as that goes. If they are doing it to big corporate type businesses, not little businesses that are barely struggling to survive. If you're knocking off, excuse me, if you're knocking off those type of businesses, then yeah, I do have a problem with that. But if you're knocking the well off, extra well off, like that's I ain't got nothing bad to say about that. So just to make myself clear, as I'm not just some square motherfucker. Like I have experienced life. I know all too much. I'm 6 years clean now, and I used to do some hard drugs and stuff, and like, man, I was a different person, and I'm just trying to help even a couple people, maybe just even plant a seed to want to better their self. Like I said, our real focus here isn't our job status. It shouldn't be. To get back to our original self, we need to let go of things like our job status and how much money we have and what kind of jewelry we might have, or gold or Bitcoin, or how many cars and big house and wife and all this material things. is not what God's eye would judge you upon. And so I would like for us to be able to let those things go, ultimately, as a society, to be able to move on to the next stage. We want to get past this game we're on, like somebody else was saying that I was just watching. And so I that's kind of stuck to me right now, because he's right. It's this game, it's this staged event of the left and the right all don't even, dude, they're all controlled by the same people, which is the higher up elites. And there's a way to change that through awareness and unity. Through awareness and unity, we can change the world. Seriously. We have people modifying the weather. That is a fact. And it's in the wrong hands. They're creating and intensifying hurricanes and all kinds of stuff. Destruction. They want destruction. That's a big part of their plan. And I hope it will start to become obvious with what is going on in Portland right now. What's going on in Portland right now is the people we call they plan, and for everyone to witness right now. And that's what's just blowing my mind, as people are over there fighting for people, for refugees who've came to America from another country. And that's just crazy still to me, that we're allowing all of the money that was supposed to be for the people of America to go out into all these other countries and try to fix their problems, when we have never fixed America. Like, that's what just is wild to me. Like, people complain about the welfare system on both sides of it, complaining about it. And it's just like, man, people wouldn't be in the struggle that we're in if we ever fixed America. And by fix America, I mean, why are jobs still paying minimum wage right now? With all-time high housing, fuel, utilities, all-time high money going out, why are companies... I actually messaged this company the other day, because they were saying $14.50 an hour to start. And I'm like, $14.50 an hour? 10 years ago even, was making $20+ an hour in Montana, where the minimum wage was still like 8 something an hour. It was very obtainable for somebody to work their way up to $20 an hour there in Montana. And it's just too far out in the middle of nowhere. I like to be by the ocean. I like to be by the water. There's not a lot of water there in Montana. So yeah, there's some mountains, but dude, you're out in the middle of nowhere. I don't want to be there. So I left there. And, so just that being said, I mean, it's wild that, most places out here that I see are averaging $16 an hour if you're lucky. And that is wild to me, that 10 years ago I was making, and even a year ago I was making more than that. A year ago I was making $20 an hour. I was actually making $25 an hour at one point, and that was cash. So that was more equivalent to like $32 an hour. Yeah, it was over $1,000 a week cash. Like, so it blows my mind that so many places were allowing to pay absolute slavery wages. And people get offended and take this the wrong way, but we need to wake up. We can't, that's not going to change the facts. That's slavery. If you barely have enough money to survive, or you don't even have enough money to survive while you are working full time, that's slavery. You have nothing left to give, and you have nothing. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's just 100% facts that I can't believe more people aren't wanting to stand up to it. How are we just going to let this system continue to do whatever it wants? Anyways, I've been rambling on for a long time. I should probably go ahead and end this live, but I am not afraid to speak my mind. No matter how shadow banned this gets, no matter on any of that, you're not going to take away what I know. That's just not going to happen. So I'm just going to continue being me and being authentic and just spilling out what's on my mind, because back to what David said about this is what he thinks we should be doing, and instead of saying nothing, because closed mouths don't get fed once again. So, we got to speak what's on our mind, regardless of how they want to cancel us for it. It is what it is, you know what I mean? I have to keep it real, and the only way to keep it real is when you're not afraid to speak what's on your mind. So, anyways, I hope that this video reaches somebody, even just one person, as far as putting a light, a seed, and helping somebody who feels like they are the problem in a world whose system does not care about you. You are just a number. It's why we have Social Security numbers. We are just a number to them. We'll always be just a number to them, or less. That's why they're creating all these robots to replace us, because we mean nothing to them. But that is why we, the people, are going to rise and take back what is ours. And this system is not going to be able to accomplish the plan of the New World Order. That is not going to be accomplished. It may seem like it's going there, and it may get very, 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 very close, and it's unfolding. But I promise that the evil will not win this time. We are too strong. We have become too wise to let them continue to manipulate us and steal the power within ourselves. We've got to put an end to that. And no matter how small of steps we take to do that, it all accounts for something. We cannot continue to be stuck in the same place that we have been for so long. For thousands of years, we've been stuck. And there's a bunch of us that know the answer of how to get unstuck. So, collectively, if we can spread this type of message, we need to build unity. We're too divided right now. We're way too divided right now, and we've got to build unity. That is the only way to overcome this beast of a system. We've got to stand together. We need to come peacefully and gather. And the more we gather and the more attention that creates, we need to make it very clear of what we are standing for. And that is our freedom back. That is for slavery to end. We're not going to continue to be slaves and have our consciousness tampered with all the time and have them manipulate our weather and our jobs and replace us with robots. Get up out of here. Get up out of here. Go take that shit to another planet, because we're too strong. We know, and we are not going to forgive for this until it stops. Period. Then we can talk about forgiveness on this subject, but we cannot forget what they are doing, or they're just going to keep doing it. They're just going to keep doing it. That is, in fact, what the Illuminati was built on, was that they can do whatever they want as long as they say one thing about it. That's it. As long as they say one thing about it, a little slip up somewhere, then they are okay to do that, because it's up to we, the people, to stand up against what they are doing. And man, there's so much division in this world. It's incredible how much they've accomplished as far as dividing, until there's hardly we the people still intact. But we're strong and not going to give up. As much as I want to give up sometimes, we're not going to give up. We're going to keep praying that we can find some unity instead of division. It's wild, you know. One of the first things they did was attack our family and make it to where so many people don't even have real family anymore. So many people. And for those of you that do, you're lucky. You're lucky. Because there are so many people that don't even have that. And that was the first thing they stripped. And from there, it's just going to keep getting worse and worse. I mean, it's already just bad. So, man, I just, you know, I have wished that I could create some type of movement. Some type of movement as far as a clear standing of what we're fighting for. Our power back. We want to govern ourselves. We don't want to be controlled any longer. The control on this planet is insane. And that is what I'm fighting very hard against. I don't want to be controlled. I don't want there to be rich and poor. There's so many people in poverty, and that's not cool. This could all be fixed if the right people were in charge and able to actually do something. But we have to defeat the powers that be through unity, through standing together and saying something about it. That's, I'm just going to keep repeating it until somebody understands where I'm coming from. Hopefully somebody understands this. All right, man. Peace, y'all.